Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you. Great to have you along. Today's episode brought to you by Dorada Foods, and we're joined by Amie Huster with Cheer. And how's things going? I mean, you got tryouts coming up, so that's always exciting.
We do. We are running down the end of our season. We have a game tonight, and then our last home game is next Tuesday, and I believe we play Jinx.
Yeah.
So just kind of winding down with Cheer, getting ready to start next year.
Yeah, and so, it's interesting because we do have spring sports, but don't do much cheering on the spring sports, right? I mean, the most of it, the biggest part of it's usually football and winter sports, correct?
Yeah, we do football, basketball, and wrestling.
Yeah.
So those are the three that we mainly predominantly cheer for.
It is interesting, like when it comes to sports, like it's just like the traditional thing.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have cheerleaders at swimming, but like wrestling, basketball, football, that's kind of where you expect them to be. It's kind of weird how it migrated into these sports have them and these sports don't, isn't it?
Yes, it is different. Cheering for different sports is kind of more challenging, like say softball, baseball.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to cheer for those.
Now softball, it's usually volleyball too. Those girls
Yeah.
do enough cheering right there on their own
Yes,
dugout
they
or
do.
bench.
Yeah, those games are intense. I went to some of those volleyball games last year.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning, at the end of the season, I should say, beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But swimming's fun. We have had a part when they had regionals. I think it was regionals last year here at the YMs or at the Recplex. Excuse me. So our cheerleaders got to help with that. They really enjoyed that.
That's
a lot
cool.
of timing and running back and forth. So they got to help a little bit with swim.
Yeah. So it's interesting kind of when you think about it because like you said, the spring sports, you don't. It's just not one of those things where you have the involvement, and it's weird how things. It's not just here; it's everywhere. It's just kind of how that worked into which sports have the cheerleaders.
No, that is true.
So, and then naturally, you're always, eventually competing, and then you guys had an all-state cheer. Do you have an all-state cheerleader this year?
We had an all-region cheerleader.
All region,
Takaya, our senior. She got a shot for that, and she did well, and we were so proud of her for doing that. I think we talked about that last time.
Yeah, I was going to say
getting ready to go.
Yeah, and she achieved that, which is very big honor.
Yes, we were proud of her, Takaya, for making all region. She did good.
Yeah, and does that help maybe get some others want to maybe do that too?
I hope so. Only seniors are allowed to try out for all state, all region. So they start at all region, and then if they make all region, then they go to all state.
Yeah, and what is involved with that? So like once you are named all region, what does that mean exactly?
And then after all region, so you go to all regions, and if you make all region cheerleader, then you get to try out for all state.
Yeah.
So if you make all state, then you are able. There's a game. I think it's in June or July.
Right.
In the summer, during the summer, that they get a jacket, and they get a ring, and all the all state sports gets come together and participate.
Yeah. So you got to get the all region first.
Yeah.
When's the last time we had like an all state cheerleader?
Last year I had an all-state cheerleader, Emma Graham, so she was an all-state cheerleader last year.
So a lot of success.
Before that, I can't answer that question. I'm not sure.
You don't know.
Before my time, I don't know.
But you know you got it. I just think when you have people going for that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that is something that can spur the others saying, hey, I want to be a part of that too.
That's a goal. I know last year one of my cheerleader, Emma, that made it, her goal was to do the same thing as her sister. And because her sister also, my other cheer coach, my junior high, Ashton, so she was an all-state cheerleader as well. So
how competitive is that?
Yeah.
So
that was her dream.
Is that like how competitive is it to try to get to be an all-state or all-region cheerleader?
It's very competitive. I'll tell you, going and taking my cheerleaders to all-state, all-region, tons of competition, so much athleticism. It's pretty awesome to watch, and you're just like sitting there like, wow, that girl was so good.
Yeah.
Like, just stuff to look up to. Like, you work your whole
and I imagine
junior high and high school.
I imagine there's college coaches in the crowd that are looking for
possibly
people too to possibly be on there. Which we've talked about that. There's some great cheer programs right here close locally in Oklahoma. So, your tryouts coming up.
Yeah.
So talk about what the clinic and tryout process is like to be a Ponca City cheerleader.
We'll have our parent meeting on February 27th at 6 p.m. at the Commons at the high school. That's just an information meeting for the girls and their parents to come, get their feet wet, see what it's about. And then I think March 4th, testing me on my dates without my calendar.
That's all right.
March 4th, I believe, starts clinic, and that's for junior high and high school clinic. It starts at 6:30 a.m. So it's early, but you don't have to deal with it in the evening.
Right.
So 6:30 a.m. to around 7:30, 7:45 a.m. And then that way they're able to go back to school. But it consists of a cheer. So I have somebody outsourced that makes up a cheer for tryouts. And then they do the fight song. They learn the fight song.
All right.
And then they have to have their jumps skills. And then if they have tumbling, they are able to perform tumbling as well.
Well, how many spots do you have available when it comes to cheerleading? So, like, I mean, there are cuts naturally.
Yeah.
Is it based on the number available, or is it based on can you do this?
It's a kind of a combination of both. We're still trying to grow our program to even bigger. So we are able to go to, stunting, a stunting class, or, perhaps do all-state and game day cheer is a big thing. So 20 is the max that we will take. So hopefully right now we have 17.
Okay.
So that's for high school.
Right.
Junior high, I think they do it about 14 to 15.
Okay.
Junior high's ran a little bit different, smaller, but we would like all of them to come try out.
Yeah.
Whether you're male or female, so.
Do you ever get any, surprises? I didn't know this girl would want to come try out every once in a while. It's like, it's just all of a sudden, and sometimes they'll turn out to be really good, I would imagine.
I know. There has been really no any surprises, but when people walk in and they're like, oh, I had no idea that they were interested in cheer, and they just show up, and I'm like, they're in my third hour or my fourth hour, and I'm like, oh, awesome. Just, it's good to see that people actually want to get out and try something new and support the community.
Yeah, and
as far as cheer goes.
Yeah, and with cheer, too, it's interesting to me because when you look at it, we talk about if you play one sport, you play one sport, right? And you'll work on the sport throughout the rest of the year, but you only have, one season.
Yes.
Cheer, you have multiple seasons, right?
Yeah, it's all year long. Because we go to camp at the beginning of June.
Right.
Into May, beginning of June. So I give them about a month off, and then it's ready to go.
Back to work.
So, yeah, we have fun.
Yes, it sounds like it. Is there anything else we need to get out there? I mean, like I said, we're coming to the end of the year, and you got the tryouts clinic coming up. So
it's crazy to think it's already February.
Yeah.
But just come out and support our last basketball game, our home basketball game. So that's next Tuesday. So we just like all the community. We like to see the stands packed.
Yeah, no doubt.
A good crowd. We like a good crowd.
Robson is a great atmosphere when it's packed as well.
It's
a great atmosphere anyways, but man, when it's packed, it gets loud.
They get rowdy.
Yes,
they hold
do.
up to their term.
Cheerleaders too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even though the cheerleaders are a little bit more tempered with what they're saying to the referees.
Yes.
Our student section sometimes, they're just trying to have a good time, and they do a good job having a good time and helping everybody energy. But I know your cheerleaders are usually standing right there below them.
Yeah.
So
I'm
sure they get some good stories.
Oh, they do. Yeah, it's fun.
And you get to hear them all.
We do. I do.
Yeah. So
they're fun. They're a fun crowd.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amie Huster with us, and that's going to do it for today's episode of Coach's Corner. It's been brought to you by Dorado Foods. I want to say thanks to Chris back there behind the camera. And until next time, Jordan Woodruff saying, Go Cats.